Hello.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Coming to you. Want to talk to you about Moon Knight. It's finally here. So
It was requested. It had to be done.
that's right. That's right. So thanks for the suggestion, Dan's here. We appreciate the suggestion. You know, it gives us ideas to talk about videos because at some point we're just like, what do we do this time?
Yeah. Because we could do top 10s and top 5s and
Yeah.
top 50s, and
So,
we will, but we like to know what our fans enjoy. So
do the top 10 of this, but in a different spin, and
that's right.
somehow it's different and enjoyable for you, right?
I enjoy it.
Anyways, kick us off, Lewis.
What do you want me to kick you off with?
With Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, interesting character. This is what Jonathan knows about him.
He's basically Batman, but in the Marvel universe.
In the Marvel universe. But he's so much more than that. He has a military background. He was in the Marines, Special Ops. He was a mercenary. He also has the mythology, the Egyptian mythology behind him. So I think he
So he's Batman and Hawkman.
yes, I like that. But he's crazy. And by crazy, I don't mean offensive crazy. I mean he has dissociative identity disorder, which means he's like a multiple personality. Back in the day, we just lumped it together with schizophrenia, but that's a different thing.
What you said, but he's crazy. I was like Batman and Hawkman.
No, but not like them, because they don't. Well, Hawkman has mistaken identity, but his is less to do with him personally and more to do with DC as a whole.
Yeah.
So, I just think he's a really interesting character. I love the look. I once heard a guy say that if you show up to a fight wearing all white, you're pretty much looking to win. Like, why wouldn't you win, right?
Yeah.
You're very confident, if nothing else. The thing with Moon Knight is, though, he's a lot like Daredevil in that he can take a licking and keep on ticking. So, yeah. So his dissociative disorder lends him to think himself to be Mark Spector. That's who he actually is. Jake Lockley, who's like a cab driver, and so Stephen Grant, I think, is like a millionaire or something. It's been a minute since I've really read up on him, other than just glancing at the Wikipedia page and stuff to refresh my memory on some things. But I want to say there was a girl, like a little girl, at some point in one of the issues that I have, but that could just be the Ultimate Comics version. I never really understood that one, but Marvel does some weird things from time to time. So, and I mean, a messed up brain can do weird things to you too. So,
Yeah.
Eventually he comes to think of himself at one point as Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Captain America.
What do you mean by that?
Like those are the identities. So he sort of slots into those personalities. Like he thinks he's Captain America. He thinks he's Spider-Man. He thinks he's Wolverine. There's a really interesting...
He's the best there is at what he does.
No, he's not the best. He is interesting, but he's not the best. There is this excellent
But at
cover.
what he does,
Yeah.
he's the best he is.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, that's debatable. Wolverine is the best he is at what he does, and what he does isn't pretty. That's how that quote usually works.
Right.
Anyway, let's see. There's an excellent cover. That's what I was trying to say, where he's got Wolverine's claws on. He's got Captain America's shield, and I forget what else. But it was really cool. The storyline is called One Man Avenger or something like that.
Superman's cape.
No, he's got Moon Knight's cape because he's Moon Knight, and Moon Knight has a cape. You should know that.
Because he's Batman. I mean, Moon Knight.
That's right. So the way I found out about the character, there was a storyline running in Amazing Spider-Man. 353 was part of the bi-weekly series that they put out occasionally. So every 2 weeks they would release an issue during the summer of the early 90s. And Moon Knight was involved in that storyline. It was sort of centered on him, and some folks kind of mock and say, why wasn't it done in his own book? And to that I say, I don't know. But I enjoyed it. It had a lot of guest stars: Darkhawk, another '90s creation, Night Thrasher, leader of the New Warriors, Nova, the Human Rocket, Punisher, and Spider-Man, of course, because it was his book. And I don't know. I'm into team ups. I'm into team books. And this just had everything. And it also had a lot of puns. And my heart language is puns. Ask my wife. I do it all the time, and she's like, I have no idea what you're talking
Holy
about.
puns, Batman.
Moon Knight. We're talking about Moon Knight.
I don't think I've ever read anything or seen anything with Moon Knight in it. So I know, like, zilch about the character. Except for what this guy's told me.
Yeah.
And I just kind of make assumptions based on the look.
Yeah.
So,
His look is really cool, though.
I
Like,
think so.
the white, and then at various times they layer gray and stuff like that. I mean, he's got the hood going on, so it's a mask, but it's hooded. I love the cape, so that when he like lowers himself, like jumps from a rooftop or whatever, he holds it out and it turns into like a crescent moon, and he can float down, and it's like dude's on point with the tech and the weapons and stuff with the moon theme. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, he's got an angel wing jet that's shaped like a crescent moon. He throws crescent darts, that sort of thing. Anyway, after I read that Spider-Man story, I tracked down the beginning of that Spider-Man story, which was in Moon Knight's own comic, issues 19 to 21, for those keeping score at home. And it was just Moon Knight, Punisher, and Spider-Man, and they were going against the Secret Empire, which is like this shadow organization that operates. It's sort of like the Masons or something, but they wear robes. They're anonymous, and they
Knights Templar.
not quite that though. They have really cool laser
Illuminati.
swords or something. Yeah, something like
They
that.
fight Doctor Strange.
They act like to the
Iron
general
Man.
public. They present themselves as sort of like a Moose Lodge kind of thing. They got rings and they contact the folks. They're really well organized. In the 70s, I think it was the 70s, when Watergate was going on, they wrote a Captain America story where the leader of the Secret Empire was revealed to be the president. And at the time,
Dum dum dum.
spoiler alert, Nixon was in office at the time, and he was going through Watergate. And so that was the writer, and I think it was Steve Englehart, who was doing some political commentary through his comic, and it was good. It caused Cap to quit being Captain America for a little while, and he took the identity of Nomad in a really ugly costume. But this is not a Captain America video. Anyway, so I dig the character Moon Knight. I think he has an awesome look. He was in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance game, I think, either the first one or the second one.
See, I would have liked that. I know this isn't Captain America, but I probably would have liked that a lot better than what they were doing with Captain America lately.
Yeah.
With the whole Nazi cap and stuff.
Oh,
That
right,
was
yeah.
kind of dumb.
Yeah, Hydra Cap.
Like, I know that they were trying to make a political statement. I think it would have been better just to have him quit being Captain America for a little while and do the same thing again.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that a lot more than what they did. Anyways, that's a side thought. Keep going.
Anyway, so he has, let's see.
Although I guess I should say, this is kind of how a lot of our conversations go in general. When
That's
I don't
true.
know something, like, he just will sit and talk about it, or vice versa. Because I know a lot more new stuff, and I'll sit and talk
That's true.
about it. So,
This is true.
Anyway,
So he maintains these other identities. That's how I heard about it, but it became more of a he's out of his mind kind of thing. But to keep his ear to the street as a hero, he let's see, what was I gonna say?
my job
Sorry.
is to throw him off with puns and laughter.
This is true. And it works well. So anyway, he has like this street level persona, like Daredevil or even Spider-Man to some degree. But
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, there you go.
Or Batman.
There you go. But he's colorful enough that he can engage with supervillains, and
Colorful enough.
yes,
Okay.
like just his personality and power set. And everything.
Oh, okay.
So one of the comics I have, he gets beat up by some rival mercenaries left for dead in the Egyptian desert. He is resurrected by Khonshu, either the god of vengeance or the god of justice. They argued for both for a while. He thought he had to be the fist of Khonshu and deal out vengeance, but eventually he came to the understanding that Khonshu was the god of justice.
To become the master of kung fu.
I'll have to look back because I don't remember if Khonshu actually is the god of vengeance or justice. I don't remember my mythology there. He does actually
become the master of kung fu.
No, why would he become the master of kung fu? That's Shang-Chi.
Yeah, no.
So I don't understand.
No, whatever. Keep going.
He does have a mastery of kung fu, as well as boxing, Krav Maga, Muay Thai, karate, and Eskrima, which is the sticks that Nightwing has. That's absolutely right.
Oh.
He has a bow staff that can turn into nunchucks or separate and become the Eskrima sticks. Let's see. He has Kevlar armor, which eventually he integrates adamantium into the fibers somehow. Don't know how that works. But it seemed interesting to me. He's got moon weapons, like I said, crescent darts, like Batman's batarangs. In full moonlight, like unfiltered moonlight, he would have a 2-ton max strength level. So
Captain America level.
Actually, he'd be above Captain America.
Heresy.
Physically, I mean, he couldn't beat Captain America, but that's okay. Like I said, nunchucks. He also has a copter.
He could be Captain America. He is Captain America.
When he wants to be, or when he doesn't want to be. I don't know how that disorder works. Anyway, he has his own moon copter. One of the cool things. So, like one of the early comics that I saw him specifically in, apart from the storyline with Midnight, his former sidekick, and the Secret Empire, was his stint in the Avengers West Coast, or West Coast Avengers, and he mentioned in passing as he was fighting Black Knight that Hawkeye designed his weapons, and I was like, what the heck, man? But I wasn't reading West Coast Avengers at that point. But there was a time travel story where Hawkeye got left in Egypt and helped design the weapons that Khonshu would eventually bequeath to Moon Knight. And I thought that was interesting. So that was the weapons that were more gold, had gold accents. He had like a, help me out here, ANKH, the Ankh cross. It's a cross that has like this little circle at the top. It was on his chest. He had these gold gauntlets. Anyway, it was more mystical in nature. He had an axe, some obelisk throwing weapons, as well as the crescent darts.
So he has more than just the batarangs. He can throw Egyptian obelisks.
That's right.
With a giant mace.
No, he doesn't have a mace. He has an axe. I said axe. Yes, and it's golden too.
It's very different.
Yeah, it is very different than a mace. A mace is a ball with spikes on it. An axe is, well, it's an axe. I mean,
an axe is an axe.
That's right. If you axe me, an axe is an axe. Anyway, let's see.
Similar function. Keep going.
Yeah. So, I mean, other than that, because I'm just trying to keep it sort of simple so that he can join in and do commentary with me. He eventually is killed by Seth, the Egyptian.
Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Yeah, I've just ruined it all now. I can't read anything.
The Egyptian serpent god of death.
Does he become the Egyptian god of death?
He does not, because Seth lives. And he eventually comes back. That's one of his deals. He didn't stay dead very long. interesting stuff. Like one of the things in the 90s, spoiler alert, Seth, the serpent god of death, also kills Thunderstrike. So, which is like this mega level Thor character. So it's not really surprising that Moon Knight didn't make it. Well, he had his mace. Thunderstrike had his mace, and he also had the blood axe. So he was like mega powerful at this point, and he still died. So it's kind of sad. Everybody came back though, I think.
Of course it did. Because it's comics.
It's comics. Folks don't stay dead long. And I was really surprised that nobody avenged their deaths. Like, I know Thunderstrike took out Seth, sort of, but he was back later, and they really hadn't done a whole lot with that. And continuity-wise, I think somebody should pick up the bowl and use the character to his full fruition. One cool thing that I found out as I was rereading the wiki page, Mark Spector, the Moon Knight, is Jewish.
Interesting.
So you've got the military
Egyptian Jewish god. That's
But
Batman.
he's not a god. He's powered and backed by a god.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So Khonshu is like his.
So like Wonder Woman.
No. Let me think. Sort of like the Spectre.
Oh, it's kind of like Shazam, Captain Marvel.
Yes, but not as nearly as powerful.
Okay. So Shazam and Batman, not Superman and Batman.
You said Hawk.
Oh, well, him too. We'll throw him in there too. Maybe a little bit of Hawk Girl. We'll throw.
Yeah.
It's a fun little ball of people.
Yeah. He's the Justice League. He's a one-man Justice League with his backstory, and he's a one-man Avenger with his personality.
That's right.
And somehow Marvel can't make an excellent movie about his character.
He's running around with Cap's shield, and suddenly he draws claws out of his fist. I'm the best I can do. Best there is at what I do.
Again, he's a striking character as far as his design. If you're looking for interesting reads, there's the 80s version that was written by Doug Moench. No idea how you say that name, but it's drawn by Bill Sizowiecki. Again, I'm not sure how you say that dude's name either, but I couldn't begin to spell it. It has more of a horror look to it, the way that he drew. I see that. And that might interest you. But I dig the more superhero one. So look for Mark Spector Moon Knight. The other one is just called Moon Knight. Mark Spector Moon Knight is the one that I would recommend. And then, of course, there are more modern takes on the character. David Finch, I think, was the artist that was most commonly associated with the covers for those modern ones. And when you see them, you'll recognize them because they're a thing of beauty. But I really dug Mark Bagley's take on the character in the Amazing Spider-Man stuff that he was in. So look up the character, give him a try. I hope this satisfies our fans' request.
And if you're new here, hope you enjoyed that.
Hope you learned something about the character like I did.
I did.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of my first Moon Knight comics had him quitting the Avengers, and I was like, dude's an Avenger? I didn't know that. Let me look into this. And it's good stuff.
So, I mean, I know almost nothing about the character except for what I just heard today. So, maybe you're in the same boat as me.
I'll force him to read at least one Moon Knight comic before.
I've seen him a lot. I've just never read anything that he's in.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know anything. But that's why I got Lewis here. We can know about the characters that the other doesn't know. So I hope you enjoyed that, and
hope Marvel gets on the boat and makes a series with him.
I feel like it'd be a good movie too.
Yeah. Even if they don't go with the dissociative disorder. I think just, a Batman-type character who goes up against the shadow organization called the Secret Empire. I think that has, mad potential.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Leave us a like. Leave us a comment if there's something we forgot about the character. or if there's any other characters you'd like to hear about,
Comment below.
because he knows them all, and you know,
Not quite.
I enjoy talking about them or making snide comments throughout his talks. So leave us a comment. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Come on and subscribe. We'd love to join you in the family, and you can like us over on Facebook. We've got that going now, and we're about to do a live stream, so this might actually go after that gets done, and we're gonna do a giveaway. And so if you have that information, go to that other video. It'll be linked at the end. So probably somewhere around here.
Here on my
I think it's gonna be right
torso, right over here on his torso, maybe over his face.
Who
We don't
knows?
know.
Like,
It'll be a surprise for us.
So, anyways, thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time. Peace.